So this video is very last minute. I don't really have an intro plan, but I know on today's project, I do want to try to make some tote bags with fabric that I already have before purchasing more because I have the habit of just buying and buying things, but not this time. This time I'm using what I already have in stock. I've seen a lot of tote bags on Pinterest and on my Instagram page. So of course I want to try to recreate some and then hopefully in some future markets I'm able to sell those as well or just post it on my website. The only thing that I'm conflicted about is the price range because obviously it's a handmade product, so I have to consider the time, the supplies, and there's people that they appreciate handmade products, but then there's also a group of people that don't really like to pay those kind of prices. They're used to like the cheap pricing from websites like what. But yeah, that's not going to stop me. So this is going to be my first attempt with these tote bags and hopefully it comes out super cute. I'm going to get the fabrics that I already have and select whatever pattern I want to work on first. And then of course I have me a little dragon fruit to keep me going. I love sugar in my diet and yeah, we're definitely going to need this for the project. So in order to retrieve my fabric, I have to keep you guys on here, clipped on, because I need both my hands. Okay, hopefully I could still hear me, but let's get my fabric. Okay, you guys, this is super heavy. Obviously, it is stacked, and I actually need to organize this, so that's probably going to be a future video as well. But for now, it's time to pick out which one I want to work on first. Well, first, let me check that I can actually hear myself on the video. Okay, I'm able to hear myself, so that's super good. So we have neutral colors. Definitely love that. But then I also love pops of color, and I don't really have much of this one, so that's probably not going to work out. The hard part about deciding, for projects is picking what fabric do you actually want to use. Thinking of going with this color right here. So it's a plaid. It has beige and olive tones, so I love that. And the fact that, of course, it's neutral. So this is probably going to be the first one. Plus, I have a lot of this fabric, so that works out super good for me. So yeah, we're gonna go with this one and we'll take it from there. So this is going to be the space that I'm working on. Of course, we need to clean everything out of the way. My little microphone as I was preparing for this video last minute. And now we have the fabric over here, so time to lay that out. And of course, I'm going to need some of this right here. I honestly forgot what it's called, but I'll list it down below. But this is so it can add the sturdiness. I know some people use the padding, but this is the only one that I have, so this is what we're going to work with. Just as important is the lining, so maybe I'll go with the white, or I'm going to do this like khaki color. And so far I think this one looks better, so that's not even a question. So yes, we're going to go with this one. It's called Ecru. I got this one at the Walmart, and this is a little project that we're working on, so that's great because if I need to get some more or whatever the case would be, then I have really easy access to it. I got this ruler from Walmart as well. This is Fiskars brand. I also got the little roller color. I had needed this for the longest because scissors was just way too much manual work. My tray of clips right here, I actually have them labeled because they're part of a whole little display set. And so this is my view from the top. I think I pretty much have everything to work with so far, so let's start cutting it up. So the tricky part for me is deciding how long do I want the bag. So this is just a reference. I recently bought this one and I love that it's a small shape. It's not super big. You can see the sides. It's not super deep, but it's comfortable enough that I can fit, a little notebook, my Bible, and it fits perfectly. This one's a little bit bigger though. You see the difference right there. So I don't want it this big. I don't know if I want it this small. Maybe in between both of these sizes. So I'm going to take measurements for both and then I'll go from there. If you're also in between sizes, see what you already have in your possession and then take measurements of that so you get an idea of how you want to make your product. Of course, you have to leave extra spacing for all the seams or, anything that you need to cut out. So time to figure out exactly what measurements I'm going to do.
After getting your measurements, it is a wise move to go ahead and iron the pieces so it doesn't mess up your measurements or, the width doesn't come out smaller than it's supposed to. So definitely do this part. And then I get an idea from one of the dresses that I have. I was going to take the fabric and make these little bow designs to kind of like close off the tote bag. And to help me get those nice edges, I was going to use this new piece of equipment that I had just bought in. I think it was from AliExpress. It came in a pack of 3 and obviously it was affordable. And so I did try to attach it onto my machine, but I was having trouble, so instead I decided to not go ahead and use it, even though I did make the attempt for it. but it wasn't a problem for me because I was used to doing it the other way, so I just went ahead and sealed all the little seams. And now the final challenge was to decide where the handle should go so the bag could come out good. So here it wasn't fully done yet, but I wanted to wear it to see, how the size was coming out, if the handle should be moved up a little bit. But I thought that it was well, so I went ahead and I proceeded with my sewing machine to get those final edges. And it can always feel a little bit intimidating because you never know how it's going to turn out until you're actually done. And then I proceeded to cut the box corners because that's what I wanted to achieve at the end of it. And again, this was my first time making this style of bag, so I didn't know how it would turn out, but this was the final result.